So in this video we will be talking about conditional rendering, and you can go ahead and remove this, or you can either comment it or remove it. That is Control K C. I am going to remove it, so I'm going to take that off. And this is just for your practice, so you can always check the previous videos and do it all over again. So from here, that is var user, you can actually even take var test1 out, because I don't want you to get confused. Alright, so the only thing left is the var user name age, that's the object which we created, and test2. So you can select this entire thing and say Control K and U. Control K U will remove the comments from it will undo it, so it'll remove the comments, and you're back with variable user name, and you can either remove the entire thing and type this out again. So this, we just need this and nothing more than that. And here we will be doing something called as conditional rendering. I hope you've heard of if statements. So let us explore a little about if statements to add conditional logic in here in JSX. Instead of rendering the user's location no matter what, so instead of location, just rendering it without any condition won't make really sense. If there is no location for that person, if he has not given the input of location, there's no point in displaying the location, because then that will be an error. So instead of rendering the user's location no matter what, let us first check if it is even exists. If it does exist, we will use it. If it does not, it will read as unknown. And this is the JavaScript expression. This is where we'll be putting it. We can use if statements here, but we'll move them to a separate function call, and we'll put the function here, just like I showed earlier. So let's create a function first, and let's go up above, alright, here, and say function get location. So you're going to get the location. The get location is the function name, and we will be getting the location value. So the argument is going to be location. Open the brackets and say return unknown. So let's just check if it is going to return unknown, and let's just see if it is right. And let's go down here. So within the brackets, we'll be calling our function that is nothing but get location. We'll open the brackets, and in the arguments, you're going to call the user.location. User.location. So the value comes here. Now we've put the function here. So let's check if it is working or not. And let's go ahead and save it. Alright, that gives me an error, and I am rendering element which does not even exist. I have to render test2. So you will get the similar error. So make sure what you're rendering is right. So I have to render test2. This is actually a good lesson of understanding the entire concept of rendering. So I am going to render test2. So please put test2 in react.render, or your app is going to crash. Now let's change it to test2 and save it. And here we go. Let's see if the location is unknown. That is what our function returned. Now in our function, let us check if the location exists or not. And if the location exists, then we can say that we can print the location value. So if location, so that will give me a true value because the location does exist, return location. Alright, then else return unknown. So now we're gonna check if we are going to show us location or if it is going to show us. Okay, now our location is shown, so it's London. So let's remove the location value. So if there is no location, it should give us unknown. Let's just remove location and save it. It says unknown, so the conditional rendering has worked. So if location exists, then it gives us, if it is true, then it returns the location, or else it says unknown. So I've removed location from my object, that is user, and that's why it says unknown. So let's put it back. Alright, and here let's go back down to our JSX, and here we can make some changes. Here we can remove this location and everything from here and just put our function in here, and it's still going to work. And how is that possible? So let's go back up here and we can keep making these kind of changes. And now I'm going to return a paragraph tag. Actually, you just have to remove even the paragraph from here and we can still show it. So in our function, let's go back here in the return statement, we're going to say p tag. We remove the p tag there, we remove the paragraph tag there, so we're putting it here. So when we return it, it will return with the paragraph tag. So I will be returning location. So location colon bracket open bracket close. So you can do that here as well. So it's so flexible that you can just use it anywhere. And this is a small location, so LOCATION, and this. So you can just remove that and just put the function and argument and save it, and it's still going to work. So London is the location. And that's about conditional rendering. We can also do something for the user. We can check user.name if there's with the ternary operator, if the username exists, or if it does not exist with the ternary operator, which is basically conditional rendering as well. So we can go right here, user.name question mark user.name colon and say So what does this do? So it checks if username exists. If it is true, then username gets rendered and it's shown on the screen. If it is false, then it prints anonymous. So let's save that and check if it's still working, and it says Jason, that's our username. Now let's remove Jason, let's remove name from the user object and save it. We're getting anonymous. So basically we've used ternary operators, we've used if conditions, if statement. So all this is accepted by JSX and it works very well in React.